Hello and welcome to this part of the course. My name is Sigrún Lilja Einarsdóttir. I am Associate Professor at Bifröst University and I have a PhD in Sociology. And one of my specialities is Gender Studies, specifically Gender Studies in Management, and also Sociology of the Arts. But now in this very short introduction, I'm going to talk about a phenomenon called the imposter syndrome. Um, it really relates to our confidence in our abilities and the realization we have for our abilities versus how much we believe in our talents. Now, Malala Yousafzai, who is now a student at Oxford University, she said you should believe in your talent and potential, never lose hope. And that is something that we should all keep in mind. But however, society teaches us to constantly question our value. And of course, it's good to be critical at some point towards ourselves. We can always improve, we can do better. But there are certain things that we are good at and other things we are not good at. However, we tend to focus too much on the things that we are not good at, and it can become so severe that we sort of apply that to all the aspects of ourselves, and that we are constantly trying to improve the things that we are not good at. However, we should focus on our strengths, and also it's very important to become known for something that makes you valuable. That's focusing on our strengths and focusing on the strong parts of our talents. Now, you might be wondering, what is the imposter syndrome? What does it really mean? It's sort of I tend to use Pauline Rose Clowns and Susan Imes' definition of imposter syndrome. Women who experience imposter syndrome maintain a strong belief that they are not intelligent, in fact, that they are convinced that they have fooled anyone who thinks otherwise. Now, don't get me wrong, this affects men as well. However, research have shown that women are more affected by the imposter syndrome than men. And the notion is really this: fake it till you make it. And it's the notion that you feel like you're not clever enough and that soon everyone will find out that I'm a total fake. And this is particularly evident among individuals in higher positions. They think, oh, what am I doing here? Why am I in this management position? I'm not good enough. And soon everybody will know, but I better fake it till I make it. So it's fairly common that individuals at a certain stage in their careers, some do that for the whole of their careers, they devalue their worthiness, skills, and competence despite having plenty. And that affects specifically well-educated and experienced individuals. And research have demonstrated that 30% of women in academia experience this at some stages in their careers. Like I said before, it's good to be critical. It's good to have this notion that you can improve, that you can do better. However, it's a good motivator, but it cannot be too much. If it's too much, that leads to performance anxiety that can have a really negative effects on, for example, work performance if it gets too high, and also generally quality of life. Now, how can we react to the imposter syndrome? We have to you have to keep in mind it's normal and it's very common, specifically among women. Men as well, but it's not as common in men like it is in women. And that has something to do with society and society's pressure on women in terms of performance, in terms of knowledge, and in terms of work productivity. So these are emotions. Now I know that this sentence, "emotions are not facts," is debatable. However, in this particular context, the emotion that I'm not good enough, or why am I associate professor? I'm not clever enough. I'm not as clever as my male colleagues, and they will find out. This emotion is not a fact. I know for a fact that I'm qualified. However, my emotions tell me constantly that, no, you're not good enough. No, I don't think so. So you have to be conscious about this. That this is something that it's like a devil on one of your shoulders telling you that you're not good enough. So it's very important to be conscious about this, that to not let it affect you too much. Uh, it's good to talk about it, both with your colleagues. If you feel like this is affecting your work performance, then maybe talking to someone, a specialist or a psychologist, is a very good idea. And also to be very active in strengthening your identity and strengthening your self-confidence. One good advice that doesn't take a lot of time is to make a bragging list over everything you have achieved so far. And it's really surprising, when you look over that and you see what you have actually done in your workplace, in your life, in terms of education, etc., in your family life. You've done more than you think, and you achieved a lot more than you think. So it's important to be aware of this tendency, to learn to live with it, but not to let it take over. And of course, it's easier said than done. But I think the important part here is to know that you're not alone, that there are plenty of other people who feel like this. So being brave is not something that you should be afraid of. Like this quote that I found somewhere, but I cannot find the author. This is not my construct. A great deal of talent is lost to the world for want of a little courage. So the bottom line here of this very short introduction and very short overview of the imposter syndrome, bottom line here is be brave, and be determined. Don't let life stop you in seeking your dreams, because really, a belief can move mountains. It's a saying in Icelandic, a bit corny, but nonetheless more true than you think. So, and just go for it. No one is stopping you but yourself most of the time. Thank you.